Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, we are here in, well, the Dravanian hinterlands after dealing with Matoya's dungeon. And now we wanted to get some porxies to cleanse tempering to Limsa Lominsa, I believe. Well, my friends, let us return to Limsa Lominsa and deliver the good news to the Admiral. A word to the officer in Bulwark Hall should be sufficient to secure us an audience. Been a while since we talked to you, Xantel. Why, Serenia, ever a welcome sight? Tidings from the Admiral, you say? She's presently receiving guests, but for the science, I know she will make an exception. Follow me. My friends, what brings you here this day? Is this true? I will navigate a cure for tempering? As often as I've been in awe of your science, I would not have thought it possible. And yet it is, Admiral. We've done it here in Limsa, and production of more familiars has already begun. You have my thanks, truly. This will do much to advance the cause of peace, yet I fear it will take more to close the rift betwixt man and beastman. Even to speak thus divides us. Welcome as it is, a cure will not guarantee reconciliation between our peoples, for though summoning and the tempered may serve to fuel the conflict, they are but symptoms of it. If we are to resolve the primal problem once and for all, we must address the cause. We must strive for mutual understanding and find a way to leave our bloody past behind. It was I who moved that the Alliance renew its push for peace. Since our ancestors came to these shores some 7 centuries past, we Lominsans have been at odds with those who share our island home. Save for a brief moment of cooperation with the kobolds, our history has been one of nigh constant territorial squabbling. Meanwhile, our struggle with the Sargin for control over the seas has only grown fiercer, a matter made worse by the thrice-timed calamity driving them to seek new spawning grounds. Survival at stake, each had no choice but to fight, and so I dismissed peace as impossible. Impossible is a word coined by the weak. I proclaimed to all who'd listen and then gave up. You and yours put me to shame. Since you led us to victory against the Black Wolf, you've achieved the impossible again and again and again. And I thought it high time that I followed suit, hence my proposal to the Alliance Council. But no sooner did I reach out to our neighbors in Wilburn than my own people sought to fraud me. You speak of the pirates who failed to attend the meeting. Aye. Acting through a friendly faction among the kobolds, we had intended to seek an audience with a prominent patriarch. But the bloody executioners would not hear of it, and their absence sent a message to the rest. Though they are but one of the 3 pirate powers, they are the greatest, and any attempt at peace would founder without them. I'm given to understand that their leader, Captain Hilfi, has been bedridden for some time with an ailment of the lungs. Correct. In his absence, his right-hand man, a man named Sickard, but recently risen to prominence among the ranks. Save for his disdain for authority, little is known about him. We have invited him to speak with us more than once, but he will not come. I have tasked the Yellow Jackets and the Rogues with uncovering his motives, but they have learned naught of any value. We have a nose for the truth. Whatever the Sickard wants, I'm sure he could find out. Truly, I would be much obliged. I shall look forward to hearing what you learn, then. Good luck. I know not if the city save what I've read or heard in passing, so in this matter I will follow your lead. The Admiral is right, the cause of the conflict needs to be addressed. We do what we can to ease the way, but it ultimately falls to the Lominsans to make peace with their neighbors. By way of a first step, I suggest we split up and make inquiries around town. Someone must know the Sigurd. If you could approach the pirates, Serenia, the rest of us will seek out merchants and adventurers. Intimidation tactics? Not that it will work with these two. Hello, Malcoco. How's your date going? Or you're dating of a Mikota guy. Ah, you want to know about Zickard? Wily bugger is what he is. Found some clever way to make coin, they say, and traded it for Mounskate's place at All Hillfield's site. There was a time we raised the executioners for our pick of the Empire's fleet, but the Guardians are gone, and them days with them. Owing to which, all of us had to look for other ways to make ends meet. With that jumped-up build, Shred Sickard landing the juiciest whatever it may be. Not that we sirens are struggling, mind. We do well enough guarding fishing boats from the fishbacks and other beasties. Got a first pick of produce for our troubles, see? Quality stuff at a bargain price. This we pass to our sisters, as can't sail on account of getting old or wounded or with child, and they cook it up and sell it for a pretty profit. Simple. Oh, I miss the old days. Don't get me wrong, but when I see the girls with their little ones, I think of myself... a life of peace and quiet ain't all bad. This is Captain Rosvin talking here. Impressive. And Cavalain. Curious about Sigga, are you? As am I, my friend, as am I. Sadly, I know nothing of a man save that the bloody executioners experienced a marked improvement in their fortunes after his promotion. Quite how he achieved this is a matter of some debate. As you know, the Thalassocracy permits us to attack only Gallian vessels, yet these have all but vanished from the sea since the Empire turned in upon itself. In order to adapt, the Krakens have taken to trading with the East, but the executioners are less, forward-looking. I cannot imagine they would willingly abandon the old days. So how, then, are they lining their coffers? Whatever their secret, they are not like to share it with their rivals, but maybe you will have more luck. Okay, all we learned is, he's making good money for his people. Walking through the city, one would never suspect this was until recently a bastion of piracy. The Admiral is to be commended for overseeing so swift a transformation. As I went about making my inquiries, I chanced upon a shop that boasted a rather enticing selection of sweetmeats. Perhaps you could take Gabu and Graha there one day? I see everyone has returned now. Who would like to go first? So, just as the Imperial prey began to disappear, Sickard turns the executioner's fortunes around with a mysterious new source of income. Whatever it is nothing to scoff at. According to a tavern keeper I spoke to, the crew have been indulging themselves as never before, but no amount of drink seems to loosen their tongues as how they are coming by their coin. For my part, I spoke with a reporter from the Harbour Herald. The publication has been investigating the secret of the executioner's good fortunes, making little headway. Plainly, the executioners do not wish the nature of their business to be made public. And I think I may know why. In the course of making inquiries on Hawker's Alley, an interesting fact came to light. Just as the executioners began to enjoy better fortunes, the price of crystal went into sharp decline. A sudden fall in demand, I was told. Curious, I contacted Holy Bordo, who has been watching the movement of the beast tribes, and my suspicions were proven correct. Despite ever-worsening relations between the beast tribes and Thalassocracy, neither Titan nor Leviathan have made an appearance of late, suggesting that the kobolds and Sargin lack the means with which to summon them. Do you mean to say the executioners are divesting them of their crystals? All indications point to that conclusion, yes, but we have no hard evidence as yet. We must investigate further. Agreed. So, how do we proceed? Oh, I have an idea about that. In fact, I've already taken the liberty of making certain provisions. Yeah? Remember how Alfino pretended to be some man of merchant to infiltrate Yilmor? Well, I bet you 10 gil he's about to reprise the role. During my inquiries, a disgruntled merchant informed me that a wholesaler of crystals had recently arrived in Limsa Lominsa, offering wares at prices far undercutting the competition. After asking around, I was able to gain an introduction, and was shortly posed as a potential buyer in a bid to establish the crystal's provenance. The man is due to be at Oshon's Embrace in Lower Lanasha shortly. I suggest we make our way there at once. That appears to be our merchant. Wish me luck. Wait, if he truly is in league with bloody executioners, he'll surely be wary of those allied with the Admiral. But science not least of all. Compared to yours and Serenia's, mine is an unfamiliar face. Let me play the role of buyer. Graha is right, and even if you aren't recognized on sight, you look too genteel to be mixing with society's underbelly. Genteel, but very well. I'll leave it to you, Graham. Got business with me, cat boy? I am... You have a crystal wholesaler? That I am, but you're no merchant. So what do you want the crystals for? Don't look at us, you idiot. You give yourself away. Oh, I see. You're a weaponsmith, am I right? You need crystals to make stuff, like that fine specimen you got there. That's right. I'm indeed a weaponsmith. I use naught but the finest materials. I bid you show me your wares. Well, we don't invite just anybody into our storehouses. Takes time to establish trust, you understand? Look, I have a large and urgent commission. If the quality is satisfactory, I will not quibble over the price. Alright, it's plain that no ordinary crystal adorning your stuff, so I'll make an exception. Come with me. Something is fishy here. It seems to be working. Let's follow them. This is a trap, right? I don't think the merchant is stupid enough to fall for Graha's bad acting. Given how long he spent playing the Crystal XIV, you'd think Graha would be a better actor. Honestly, if it hadn't been for that staff, we must remember to thank Tataru. They went into that tunnel, quietly now. You won't find any finer, especially not for the price. Indeed, I would expect to pay more than double for such quality. How could they possibly be so cheap? There's nothing unlawful about them if that's your worry. They're from Ogomoro, if you take my meaning. The stuff as pure as it gets, you won't be disappointed. So, how much do you want? Ogomoro. Taken from the kobolds, just as we suspected. That's enough. Shut your gobs and turn around, slowly. I'm Sickert, acting captain of a bloody executioners. No need to introduce yourselves. We know who you are, scions. And we also know you've been chatting to the Admiral. Got eyes and ears everywhere, see? Comes with being the only true pirate crew left in Limsa. So we've established you ain't here to buy crystals. The question is, what are you here for? You're bold to reveal yourself to us without knowing our objective. That would explain your swift rise to power. You've spoken plain, and so I shall return the favor. We came here to learn why the bloody executioners oppose the Admiral's will. And we have our answer. Should Limsa Lominsa make peace with the kobolds, you would lose the source of your newfound wealth. That's right. Just to remind you though, we ain't breaking any rules here. The law forbids us from attacking any vessel not flying the Imperial flag. But it don't say nothing about beastmen. Only reason we keep our operation nice and quiet, because we don't want no one taking our business. Wait, just listen to the end, will you? For what it's worth, I have the highest respect for you and yours. Her especially. While the Maelstrom were warring about dirtying their fancy red clobber, you Lord stormed Ogomoro and battered bleeding Titan himself. Raised a mug to you when I heard the news. And now we're following in your footsteps, making sure the beastmen never summon their stinking gods again. Practically your successors we are. When there were still Imperial ships about, we did our bit for Limsa and went after them. But with the Galleon's gone, there's no one left to ply our trade on except the beastmen. So let us have that, huh? Only fair. Contentious though some may find your views, it's true you have broken no laws. That being so, I see no reason why you should not state your case directly to the Admiral's face, unless the acting captain of the only true pirate crew left in Limsa Lominsa has some other cause to hide in a cave. Well said. Well said indeed. Alright, I'll meet with the Admiral. I'll even provide the venue. The Astalicia. I trust she won't turn down the invitation. I don't know about you, but it was all I could do to stop myself punching Sigurd in the smirking face whenever he opened his mouth. Though I have some passing knowledge of prior events, I'm yet ill-qualified to meddle in Lominsan affairs. It was not my place to argue with Sigurd, much as I would have liked to. Nay, it's for the Admiral to deal with him and the bloody executioners both. By bringing them to the negotiating table, we have played our part. I thought myself a hunter, but it turns out I was a prey. Timely reminder that the pirate powers of Limsa Lominsa are not to be trifled with. But also that ends well. Gratia's timely provocation had the desired effect, and Sigurd has agreed to a meeting. Let us hurry back to Limsa Lominsa and pass on his invitation to the Admiral. But with no assurance that Sigurd will be amenable to reason, there can be no compromise with our discussion. Yes, Sicilia is the very last place for such a meeting. The Admiral will be marching right into the cold den. I hope we don't end up regretting this. Sigurd does not want for confidence, that much is plain, but I have faith in the Admiral. She has dealt with far worse. Welcome back, my friends. What news? So I've been stealing crystals from the kobolds. My thanks for solving the mystery and securing a meeting besides. Suffice it to say, I accept Sigurd's invitation, would have you join me as my guests. The future of Limsa hangs upon the outcome of this meeting, and I would have a scions present to bear witness.
Look who's come crawling! Traitor!
You can shove your piece!
Welcome aboard, Admiral. I'll wager you don't remember me. Sigurd, acting captain of the bloody executioners, at your service.
'Twas kind of you to invite us. Now, if Captain Hillfear has a message for me, I bid you speak it.
We have just the one demand. That you forget this bilge about making peace with the beastmen. Ours is a nation of pirates. Always has been, always will be. Deny us our right to plunder, and you deny who we are.
Too bloody right! Pirates till we die!
What we want, we take!
Piracy has no place in our future.
What'd she say?
Pirates have no place.
Our nation has prospered through piracy, 'tis true. Yet it is but one part of our long and storied history. Centuries ago, our ancestors led a failed rebellion and were driven from their homes with little more than the shirts on their backs. In fear of their lives, they sailed south until they came to these shores.
From where? Just a curious question.
Finding the land occupied by kobolds, however, they were forced to turn to piracy in order to survive. And survive they did. But not so long ago, when the Empire threatened to crush everything we'd built, we set aside piracy and joined hands with our neighbors. This too was in order to survive. And survive we did. Time after time we fought the Empire, and time after time we won. And through trade with our newfound allies, we prospered more than we ever did through pillaging and plundering. The Empire teeters on the brink of collapse. Ere long, provinces like Werlit and Bosnia and many others will regain their freedom. When they do, our matchless fleet will lead the world in a new golden age of commerce. The tides favor us, and the ocean beckons with her vast bounty. But if we cling to the old ways, this great ship we call Limsa will trade the boundless seas for a lagoon. Shall we scorn the world's wealth for a plundered pittance, then? Or shall we embrace change and thrive, like our ancestors before us? The choice is yours. But if we are to prosper in the coming age, the whole of Vilbrand must become our ship, and a kobold and Sahagin our crewmates.
Rousing words. Might even be some truth in them. But pirating's all we've ever known. And we ain't about to give it up just 'cause you say so. Still, we're all Lominsans here and no one wants a war. So where does that leave us? Long before you became Admiral, I heard you was captain of the League of Lost Bastards. That true? If so, you'd know how we pirates settle our differences.
A duel. Very well. As Admiral of Limsa Lominsa, I accept your challenge.
This ain't over! Not till one of us is dead! Finish the job! Or I will!
It's the captain!
Captain Elfair!
Ye fool! 'Twas over afore it began.
Captain!
Seems the whelps have been yapping while their master was abed. Listen well, all of ye. Since the signing of the Galadian Accord, we all of us have been part of the same crew. The crew of the good ship Limsa Lominsa. At the helm of that ship is the Admiral. And 'tis she who decides where we sail. Was I not clear on that point? Or did you forget whose deck you stand on? Nay? Then what in the seven hells are you playing at?
It's all we know, Captain. If we ain't pirates, what are we?
You're bloody idiots is what ye are. Idiots with your own lives ahead of ye. Ye can do anything ye want. Be anything ye want. We're pirates, aye. And we pirates love our loot. But that ain't our first love. Our first love is the sea. The sea! And what she brings us. Freedom! So hold fast to that. Let the brine-crusted husk that stands before you now be the last of them as knew naught save out of steel. And make of yourselves a new breed of pirate! Lad, I made ye me right hand 'cause I saw something in ye. And I still do. You have the makings of a captain. All you lack's the belief. Well now, it seems we're of one mind after all. Apologies for the misunderstanding, Admiral. We're with ye, wherever ye be headed.
You have my thanks, Hilfir.
Your choice of dueling pistol did not escape my notice. Good old Annihilator. Ender of many a proud pirate's voyage. Mistbeard's vanished into legend, and it won't be long before I take my rest in the depths. Yet be that as it may, the old ways can only truly die when we've dealt the Empire the telling blow. There'll be stormy seas ahead, no doubt. But I'm trusting ye to steer us through to the other side.
That cost him, but he knew it had to be done. For the future of his crew. While I don't condone what Sickert has been doing, I know how difficult it can be to change course. It took me long enough to join the Science, didn't it? There are times when one must stand one's ground even at the cost of failures beyond the reckoning. The Admiral is just that, and I have nothing but respect for her. If she continues to stir her nation through this period of transition, I pray the Navigator will see fit to fill her sails. When the discussion gave way to a duel, I feared what might unfold, yet only a fool would underestimate the Admiral, as Sickert soon discovered. Like Mistbeard before him, Hilfe chose to trust the future of our nation to the Admiral. That was the moment I believed that the good ship Limsa Lominsa finally embarked upon a new course. Though I had anticipated a duel, I did not foresee that Hilfir would intervene. But full glad am I that I did. It would have been a shame to kill the boy. Instead, the whelp has learned a valuable lesson, and we have made peace amongst ourselves. All that remains is to do likewise with our neighbors. I guess I end the episode here. This seems to be a good point after dealing with this and having Hilfir's speech as the ending. Okay, until next time then. I'm Ace and don't get lost.